Hi everybody, welcome to the Lexus Virtual Classroom. My name's Melissa O'Connell. I'm your Lexus Technology Specialist here at Northside and Westside Lexus in Houston, Texas. And you have arrived at our deep dive tutorial all about the first generation of Lexus Interface. That's the multimedia system on most Lexus vehicles on the road today. We are going to explore everything that we can about this system, and we are going to be looking at different layouts for the system on different Lexus models. But I do want you to be aware that it is compatible for over-the-air updates, and the navigation system is even compatible with cloud updates that happen automatically when you are subscribed to the Drive Connect cloud-based navigation system. So what you see in this video, it will evolve, it will change. So if you have questions, maybe your vehicle looks a little bit different than this one, go ahead and leave them in the comments below and I'll be happy to get back to you. But for now, come on, let's learn together. When you have a vehicle with the Lexus Interface multimedia system, make sure that you set up your Lexus primary driver profile before you make any customizations on your new Lexus. So we're going to open up the Lexus app, sign in if you have an existing Lexus or Toyota account, or register and follow the full registration process if you are new to Lexus. If you already have a vehicle showing in your Lexus app and you want to remove that vehicle, just click on the picture of your vehicle and then you'll see Remove Vehicle at the bottom of the Lexus app screen. If you're keeping your current Lexus vehicle and adding another to your garage, just click right up at the top and then you'll see the plus symbol in the top right-hand corner of your screen. You'll click plus, and then when you are on the Add Vehicle screen, you're going to pause and follow some steps on the vehicle display. Select your language of choice, and if you don't already have the Lexus app on your phone, you can scan the QR code to download the app. Otherwise, you can skip this step by pressing Continue. Coming back to our phone screen, we're going to select Scan VIN, and then you can open the driver's door and scan the VIN there. You'll see a barcode and the VIN. Once you've scanned the VIN successfully, select Add Vehicle. We'll select Connect by Code, and then enter the code shown on screen. There is a timer, so make sure that you enter the code within that time frame or just relaunch the setup process. It's common to be asked to sign back in just for verification purposes. Go ahead and do so. Once you've verified the account by signing in, the system will start to link your new vehicle to your Lexus account. You can make customizations to your preferred Lexus dealer and choose Save Changes. Once we've finished the app setup, then we'll continue on our main display. We'll see all of the connected services trials that we have for this vehicle. Choose Continue. And now we need to accept the terms for our services so that they can be activated, especially for the master data consent. Without that data consent, the SOS feature is not going to have permission to work. We'll choose Accept for the master data consent and Service Connect. And then if you're not sure if you want to use the Wi-Fi hotspot for passengers to access the internet while they're in your vehicle, you can just select Maybe Later and then Confirm. Confirm and continue. Congratulations! Finish setup. If you have multiple vehicles in the app garage, click up at the top on the drop-down arrow. Then you'll see the vehicles in your garage. Slide over to select your new Lexus. Choose Make Default if it is your preferred default vehicle, and then select. And now you'll see your new Lexus on your app garage home screen. Let's finish setting up our phone's connection to the vehicle. We'll select App Setup Finished, we're being asked to connect for Bluetooth, we'll click Continue. And then on our phone, we'll come to Settings, open the Bluetooth menu, and look for the name of your Lexus. You're going to click right on that name. I currently am in a GX, so I'm going to click right on the words Lexus GX. And now we'll click Pair on the phone, OK on the vehicle screen, Allow on the phone for contacts and call history, and give permission for CarPlay on the phone and the vehicle. We have one other CarPlay permission that needs to pop up on our iPhone. This is an iPhone example, and we're going to click Allow, and that's going to allow our apps to mirror over to the vehicle screen. If you have an Android phone, the process is very similar. Depending on the type of phone you have, you might need to select the additional Connect using wireless Android Auto, and then follow additional prompts for Android Auto setup. And then when it's time to get back to our Lexus screens, you can either look for the quick exit arrow. If you click on this arrow at the top of the Android Auto menu and come back to the Lexus Interface menu, or if your phone doesn't have that feature, just click on the Apps menu icon and then select Lexus. And now we can finish our profile setup. Select the Settings gear, and we'll see our current driver and any saved driver profiles on the right-hand side. And it will tell you who the primary driver is. So we can see that I am the primary driver and I am the current driver connected to the system. Let's come to Personal Info, and we'll see my Bluetooth device, so that is my phone that's connected to the vehicle. I could manage devices if I have another phone that I would like to add. If your Lexus has the driver attention monitor, you'll see it centered at the top of the steering column. You can set up Face ID, but before you do that, I recommend that you set up your driver position memory first, because the driver attention monitor is really looking for you to be in a safe driving position. In fact, if you have the seat too far down or too far back, you may see messages telling you to sit up or that the monitor can't see your face, and so it's not able to operate at that time. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and adjust the position for the seat, steering wheel, side mirrors, and head-up display if your Lexus is equipped with a head-up display. Then, come on over to the buttons on the left side of the steering wheel. When you have everything where you want it, you're going to push Set, let it go, and then push your button number 1, 2, or 3. You'll hear a beep, and then anytime you need to make a change in the future, make that adjustment, and then resave. Keep in mind that on some models, the driver position memory buttons are linked to the driver profile. So if you have the system currently in guest mode, or if a different driver profile is on the vehicle, make sure to change to your driver profile before you save your driver position memory. Now that we've set up our driver position memory, let's set up our Face ID. You'll select Set up Face, accept the terms, and if you need to remove sunglasses or hat, anything that might obstruct your face, remove those items, and then click Begin, and look straight ahead. You're going to hear a couple of beeps, see success on the screen, and your Face ID is all set. And you'll see Remove Face, which definitely sounds a little weird, but that's how you would actually undo or remove the Face ID from your driver profile. So if you wanted to do that, you would just click Remove Face, confirm removal, and now you could set up Face ID again if you choose to. Keep in mind that the driver attention monitor is going to be on and operate whenever it can, whether you have Face ID set up or not, and you can turn off many of the driver attention monitor alerts if you choose. Come to Settings, select Driving Assist. Open the Driver Support menu and scroll all the way to the bottom of the list, and there you see Driver Monitor Alert. We can turn that feature off, So that will turn off most of the alerts. Notice I say most and not all. That is because if you drive with your hand at the top of the wheel, that's actually going to block the monitor. So it's not able to see your face clearly, and you're going to get an alert even when you turn off the driver attention monitor alerts. It's going to tell you that the driver attention monitor is not available, and it may even say to contact your dealer. What your dealer should tell you is bring your hands down, 10 and 2, or preferably 3 and 9. Keep that clear. Ultimately, it really wants you to be in a safe driving position with both hands safely on the wheel. And even more important than setting up Face ID is linking a key to your driver profile. That's because when you unlock the vehicle, especially from the driver's door, using the Smart Access system and a linked key, it's the best connection for your Lexus driver profile, especially to your smartphone for things like wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. So let's link a key to your driver profile. Just choose the key that you would like to link to your profile. It could be a fob or even the wallet key. Make sure only that key is in the vehicle, and then you'll toggle Link Key from off to on. If you have more than one key in the vehicle, you'll just see a message telling you that you have multiple keys in the vehicle, and make sure to remove those other keys, and then you can link your selected key to your driver profile. Another important item to set up is your Lexus security PIN. It's a 6-digit PIN that periodically will pop up on the vehicle screen. If you've never had a PIN associated with your Lexus app, the app setup process is going to ask you to create a PIN. But if you're not prompted to make a PIN, that means your Lexus driver profile has actually had a PIN set up in the past. You can change that at any time. Go ahead and click on the profile icon on the top right corner of your app screen. Then select Account and open Security Settings. Once you're in Security Settings, you'll be able to select Set or Reset PIN. The app is going to ask you to sign back in to verify your identity. Just choose Confirm and follow the sign-in process. If you've allowed Face ID to sign you in, you'll be signed in automatically. If not, enter your email and password for your Lexus account. Then choose your new PIN. It can be a very simple PIN, and if it is, you're going to get a warning letting you know that you have a weak PIN, it's easy to guess, and you might want to change it. That's completely up to you. You will be asked to confirm the PIN, so just enter it a second time to make sure that it's been entered correctly. So I'm making a very simple PIN just so you all can see this as an example. Now that we have our profile and driver position memory all set up, let's talk about some system basics. There are multiple systems operating off of the main screen. Your phone's system, Apple CarPlay for an iPhone, and Android Auto for an Android phone. If you have your phone connected for Apple CarPlay, you'll see this icon at the top of the Lexus Interface menu bar. With an iPhone paired to the vehicle, the Lexus Interface menu bar on the left-hand side, and Apple CarPlay on the remainder of the screen. Lexus and Apple have added the ability to take Apple CarPlay full screen, where it hides the Lexus Interface menu bar, or you can allow the Lexus menu to be visible at all times just by using this button to expand or retract your Apple CarPlay screen view. If you have an Android phone connected for Android Auto, you'll see the Android Auto icon. In order to exit Android Auto, if you click on this arrow at the top of the Android Auto menu, and you'll see the Lexus menu bar on the left-hand side with your Android Auto shortcut right at the top. We will go into detail about Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but first I want to make sure you know some basics about the icons that you view on screen. So if you don't see the shortcut to your phone's operating system, it means that your profile is not connected or your permissions have not been turned on for that connection. If you don't see those icons, the top icon on the display will be the arrow for the Lexus Drive Connect navigation system. Drive Connect is the cloud-based Lexus navigation system. that uses Google Points of Interest, and it updates automatically in the cloud. It does require a subscription after the trial period has ended. If your Lexus comes with a complimentary trial for Drive Connect, the Lexus Music Notes will open your Lexus audio system. The telephone icon will take you to different screens depending on how your phone is connected to the vehicle. So if your phone is connected for Apple CarPlay, you're going to see your phone displayed through the Apple CarPlay setup. If you have your phone connected for Android Auto, it just takes 2 steps. Select the telephone icon from the Lexus menu, and then select the Android phone icon from the shortcut on the left-hand side. When your phone is connected for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and you press the phone icon in the Lexus menu, you might see a screen like this. You can go ahead and just click right on the name of your phone, and you'll be brought back to your phone feature through CarPlay or Android Auto, depending on the type of phone you're using. Or make it super easy and just use voice command. If your phone is connected for Bluetooth only, you'll see this screen. Also note that when I selected to have my phone connected for Bluetooth only, the icon for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, depending on your phone type, is going to disappear from the screen, and the Lexus menu icons will spread out a little bit. While we're on this screen, make sure to note that these are different types of connections. Use for phone and use for media are Bluetooth only connections. If you select use for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, depending on your type of phone, that's going to take over the connection completely, and these other items will toggle to the off position. Let's check that out. I'm going to click on the toggle Use for Apple CarPlay and then click OK to reconnect. You'll see the Use for Apple CarPlay toggle light up in blue. The other connection types have turned off, and you're also going to see the Apple CarPlay shortcut icon reappear at the top of your Lexus Interface menu bar. You can select the vehicle icon to come to the Vehicle Features menu. Keep in mind that this list is going to be different depending on the equipment or package on different Lexus models. Click on the Settings gear to open your Lexus Settings menu. We'll go through each of these items in detail. Now let's take a look at these icons on the top right-hand corner of the screen. If your vehicle has a wireless charger, you'll see the Qi wireless charger icon. When it appears in gray, it's not charging, but when you place a compatible wireless phone onto the charging pad, you'll see that icon light up in blue. You may also see messages about charging starting and stopping. You'll also see a DCM icon. It looks a little bit like a satellite symbol. Even though it looks like a satellite, that actually represents the cellular connection for the connected services on your vehicle. When the icon is highlighted in blue, that lets you know that your Lexus Drive Connect navigation system is active and connected. When your phone is connected for Apple CarPlay, the Bluetooth symbol will appear gray. It will be highlighted in blue with an Android Auto or Bluetooth only connection. The Bluetooth icon is clickable, and it shortcuts you to the Bluetooth and Devices Settings menu. When you change to a Bluetooth-only phone connection, the Bluetooth icon is going to change from gray to blue, and it will let you know which phone is connected, and you'll have 2 additional icons appear on screen. You'll see the battery level for your cell phone and the bars of service for the area where you are at that time. If you change your connection back to Apple CarPlay, the Bluetooth icon will go back to gray, and the bars of service will appear in your phone's connected system screen. The clock is also clickable. If you click the clock, it will shortcut you to the clock settings menu. The most important thing to know about voice commands on this system is that there are two separate voice command assistants, your phone's assistant and the vehicle assistant. You're going to use your phone's assistant, so Siri or Google, for phone-related things like making calls or sending texts, or even using a navigation app like Apple Maps, Google Maps, or Waze. You'll use your Lexus Assistant for vehicle-related commands, like the Lexus Radio, Lexus Navigation, and if you're not using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto for your phone at all, and you have a Bluetooth-only connection, then Lexus can make a call or send a text by voice. There are 3 ways to access voice commands. Since Lexus Interface is a voice-first system, all you have to do is say, "Hey Lexus." You can even say, "Hi Lexus," "Hello Lexus," or "Okay Lexus." You can also use the talk button on the steering wheel, and even a soft button right on screen. To use the talk button on the left-hand side of the steering wheel for Lexus Interface, you'll push and release the talk button. When you push and release the talk button, it's the same as saying, "Hey Lexus." To cancel, either say cancel by voice, click the X on the top left corner, or push and hold the talk button on the steering wheel. To interact by voice with your telephone's assistant, either use your phone's wake word, like "Hey Siri," or push and hold the talk button on the steering wheel. There are also soft buttons on screen that operate voice commands. The Lexus system uses the search icon to activate your Lexus Assistant. Just touch the magnifying glass icon. When you're driving, the magnifying glass will change to an image of a microphone. With your phone's assistant, push and hold the menu icon on the bottom left-hand corner to activate Siri for Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto uses the microphone icon on the lower left-hand side in the Android Auto menu. We're going to move down our Lexus Interface menu from top to bottom. If your phone is connected for Apple CarPlay, you're going to see that icon at the very top. Just click to open. Starting with the basic layout, we have that full screen button. Just touch to expand to full screen, or to retract back and allow the Lexus Menu Bar to remain open on the left-hand side. Moving down from the top, just below we have our clock. Keep in mind that this is the clock that's mirroring from your phone. So if it doesn't look right, make sure to check the clock settings on your iPhone. You'll see bars of service and the network connection that you currently have. And depending on the operating system on your phone, you may see your battery level and charging status here. Then you have 3 recently used app categories that are pictured here. The top app is going to be navigation. So right now it's Apple Maps, but if you opened Google or Waze, you would see that. So you'll see the app switch to whichever navigation app was most recently used. The next most recently used app is going to be about music or entertainment. Right now we see this podcast icon, but it could be Spotify or any other music app. The last recently used app in the stack is communication. This will show apps like phone, messages, WhatsApp, and even the settings app for CarPlay. If you have your phone on Do Not Disturb, you're going to see the little moon icon. So just know that if you see a symbol here, that just means that you've changed the settings for notifications or in the focus feature on your iPhone. When you aren't using Do Not Disturb settings, then you'll see the battery charge level for your phone in this same spot. The bottom icons are for a shortcut to your Apple CarPlay home screen and the apps menu screens. Depending on the software version on your iPhone, the icons may look a little different, but they function in the same way. From the apps menu, swipe from right to left to see additional apps, or swipe left to right and you can come back to your home screen. If you already have iOS 26 running on your iPhone, you can swipe one more time and open the new customizable widget screen. On the larger screens, you can expand to full screen mode and see 3 widget stacks, or click again to allow the Lexus menu to remain on screen and you'll see 2 widget stacks. The stacks can be customized in your iPhone by going to Settings, General, CarPlay. Look for your vehicle's CarPlay connection, open that up, and then select Widgets. Then you can choose the stack that you'd like to customize. And many of the widgets are interactive, so you can click on an item like this Google Map widget, for example, and then that's going to open the map to full screen. Let's come back to the home screen. Keep in mind that the current home screen is not customizable, but it does change based on what you have open. The large tile on the left is going to be a navigation tile, no matter which app you have as your most recently used navigation app. Each navigation app has its own layout for the items that you'll see in the top narrow tile on the right-hand side. So again, those things at this point are not customizable, but they will change whether you have a route programmed in or if you're using a different navigation app. So just know that those items are going to vary based on the app that you're using. Coming down on the right-hand side, you'll either see a large lower tile or you'll see 2 small tiles. Either way, this icon represents the Now Playing feature. This is going to correspond to whatever audio you have playing at that time, and you'll have some controls to play or pause, fast forward, rewind. It just depends on the content that you're currently listening to or have paused on your phone. If you have an event coming soon, it's going to also show here. Let's put an event on the calendar and I'll show you what that looks like. Hey Siri, put an event on my calendar to get my curbside pickup at HEB today at 3:30.
Get my curbside pickup at HEB to you is scheduled for 3:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. today.
There are also other compatible apps that can show information in this area, and iOS 26 introduced a live activities feature that will automatically populate upcoming information from compatible apps that are related to sports, food delivery, flight tracking, and more. It's ever evolving. To check if an app is compatible on your iPhone, you'll go to Settings, Apps, and then open that specific app and look to see if Live Activities is available and turned on. We won't go over all of the apps. Remember that only apps compatible for CarPlay will show up in the apps menu on the vehicle screen. So if you don't see one of your apps there, it just means a CarPlay version has not been developed. You can customize how they appear on your vehicle screen. You'll come to Settings, open General, select CarPlay, and then look for your Lexus under My Car. Select to open, and then you're going to click where it says Customize Home Screen Icons. If you've upgraded your iPhone to iOS 26, you're going to look for Apps, and then click to open that menu, and you'll be able to customize. Anything that has a minus symbol and a red circle can be deleted so that it won't show on your vehicle screen. It's not going to delete that app from your phone. It's just going to remove it from what's mirroring from your phone to the vehicle. If you'd like to put apps in a different order so you can have more frequently used items on the front page, you'll just use the little handlebars to the right of the app that you'd like to move. So you'll just touch and hold and then drag and drop until the app is where you want it. When you have everything in the order that you'd like, just click on the name of your car in the top left with the blue arrow. And just click to go back, and then you can close out of your settings menu. There are 3 different ways to wake up or access Siri on your vehicle. Keep in mind that when you do wake up Siri, you may see a different graphic or hear a different tone because there are a lot of different factors that go into what Siri looks like in Apple CarPlay. Siri can appear differently depending on the model iPhone that you have, the version of the iPhone operating system that you're running, and if you've enabled Apple Intelligence. With Apple Intelligence active on your iPhone, the visuals are very different. It looks more like a wave of color and then kind of a framed outline. So just keep in mind the graphics that are indicating that Siri is listening are going to continue to evolve and change as Siri and iPhones continue to evolve or change. But just know that if you have activated Siri, something is going to give you an indication that Siri is ready and listening for your command. You can wake up Siri in 3 different ways. You can simply say, "Hey Siri," and you have Siri available. Cancel. You can also use the voice command or talk button on the steering wheel. If your vehicle has a physical talk button that looks like this, you'll push and hold to wake up Siri. Then you can just push and release to cancel. If your vehicle has a head-up display, you'll touch the bottom arrow on the left-hand side of those touch-sensitive arrow pads. You're going to see the voice command or the talk icon highlighted. You'll actually see the words voice command on your menu screen, and then you're going to just push and hold. That's going to wake up Siri. And then touch to highlight the voice command button, and then push and release to cancel. Or you can push and hold on the menu buttons on screen, push and release to cancel. You can do the same thing with the app's menu icon. Touch and hold to wake up Siri, and just click to cancel or say cancel. So we have 2 assistants on our Lexus vehicles with Lexus Interface because we can say, "Hey Lexus," and use Lexus Navigation or give commands for climate or the Lexus radio. But anything that we need to use our phone for when the phone is connected for Apple CarPlay, we want to always make sure that we're using the phone's assistant. So if we want to make a phone call, for example, "Hey Siri, call Sarah."
Just to confirm, you'd like to call Sarah Mobile?
Yes.
Calling Sarah Mobile.
You can generate a call at any time, and it doesn't matter what you have on screen. Just wake up Siri to do it. "Hey Siri, call Sarah."
Calling Sarah Mobile.
The call will take over your screen. You can just select another item that you'd like to show. And then to come back to the call, just click on the clock. You'll notice that it does change colors when you are actively in a phone call. You can also text through the system in the same way. Send a text to Sarah.
What do you want to say to Sarah?
"Hey Sarah, I hope you're having a great day."
It says, "Hey Sarah, I hope you're having a great day." Send it?
Yes.
Done.
You could also cancel, change it, or click send right on screen. You can even say add to it and then add to your message. Let's take a look now at how to respond to a message. So you could either click on the screen to play the message, or just ask Siri to read your most recent message or your most recent message from a particular person. "Hey Siri, read my last text from Sarah."
You have recent messages from Sarah. Sarah said, "Hi, how's your day going? Would you like to reply?"
Yes.
What do you want to say to Sarah?
"It's going great. Thanks so much. See you later."
It says, "It's going great, thanks so much. See you later." Send it?
No, change it.
What do you want to say to Sarah?
"It's going great. Looking forward to seeing you later."
It says, "It's going great, looking forward to seeing you later." Send it?
Yes.
Done.
Using Siri for navigation with Apple CarPlay has evolved a bit. Now when you give a navigation command to Siri, the directions are going to default to your most recently used navigation app, or whichever map you happen to have open at the time. unless you tell Siri to use a different navigation app. For the most voice command compatibility with Siri, go ahead and use Apple Maps. Hey Siri, get directions to Target using Apple Maps.
One possibility is Target on Lake Woodlands Drive and starting route to Target. Proceed to the route.
Hey Siri, cancel my route.
Ending navigation.
If you don't designate the app you want Siri to open, remember that Siri is going to use the most recently opened navigation app. So check this out. Right now, I'm just going to give a navigation command. Hey Siri, get directions to Target.
One option I found is Target on Lake Woodlands Drive in Spring, about 4 miles to your north. Is that the one you want?
Yes.
Getting directions to Target using Waze.
So Siri did launch my directions through Waze. It was the most recently used navigation app, but there really aren't other voice commands that Siri can do in Waze at this point. Now that may continue to evolve, but if I want to stop my guidance or end this route, I do actually currently still have to click on screen. Here's what happens if you try to do it by voice command. Hey Siri, cancel my route.
You're not navigating in Apple Maps at the moment.
So there's still some limitations, but just click on screen and stop your guidance. Now, if I wanted to change the app that I was using, I can just give the voice command. Hey Siri, get directions to Target using Google Maps.
One option I see is Target on Lake Woodlands.
So notice that my navigation app changed. Now I'm in Google and I can choose to click start or I could start to drive. To cancel your route in Google Maps, click on the screen, then click exit. Sometimes you'll try to launch an app that might be missing some permissions that you'll need to give on your iPhone, or it may need to be updated. So anytime that you select an app and it does not open correctly, or you have messages like this, go ahead, dismiss that message on screen. When it's safe to do so, locate that app on your iPhone and then follow the steps that you need to either update the app or give any missing or new permissions. And then you'll be able to use it through Apple CarPlay in your vehicle. A common challenge is to remember that the music notes that you see when you're in Apple CarPlay are not the same as the music notes that you see in the Lexus menu. So if you click on the music notes here, you're going to launch the music library that you have on your iPhone. You can listen to the radio through Apple Radio, but it's not the same as listening to the radio from your vehicle. When you select the music notes in the Lexus menu, that's when you're able to listen to the vehicle's radio. We'll come back to that shortly. Selecting the Apple CarPlay icon to reopen Apple CarPlay. If you have expanded your Apple CarPlay screen and you're not currently able to see your Lexus menu, but you need to get to your Lexus radio, or if you'd like to see your radio favorites on screen, just give this voice command. Hey Lexus, show my radio favorite screen.
Showing radio favorites.
So far, that is the only voice command that I've been able to figure out that actually opens the radio favorite screen. If you find out another way to do it, please let me know. Then you can come back to Apple CarPlay by clicking on the Apple CarPlay icon. Then you can just click on those arrows to slide the Apple CarPlay screen slightly to the right so that you can have your Lexus Menu Bar open at the same time. For phones connected with Android Auto, you'll see the Android Auto icon at the top of the Lexus Menu Bar. Just click to open. You'll see the Android Auto menu along the left-hand side. If you click on this arrow at the top of the Android Auto menu, you can quickly reopen your Lexus screens. And to get back to Android, just click the Android Auto icon. At the time of filming, it's currently not possible to allow the Lexus menu to remain open on screen while Android Auto is on screen, but that may change at some point in the future. When you look at the menu bar on the left-hand side in Android Auto, you're going to see bars of service, the battery charge level for the phone, the clock, a notifications count that you can actually click to view those newer notifications. You can play them, reply, or clear all. If you don't have new notifications or they've been cleared, then you'll see that that notification icon is no longer on your menu stack. Just below, you'll see icons for recently used apps or shortcuts to different features. The first shortcut app is going to be for navigation, and the icon for this app is going to change depending on which map app you're using. So right now we have Google Maps open, but if we change to another compatible navigation app, you're going to see the icon representing that change. The middle app is going to be for the most recent audio or media app that you've been listening to. And the third item is the shortcut for the phone. You can use the microphone icon on screen to launch your Google Assistant. And I'm just clicking on the screen to cancel. You can also press and hold the voice command button on the steering wheel. And of course, you can use voice command. Okay, Google, how's the weather today?
Right now in Houston, it's 91 degrees.
Just below the microphone, you'll see either the home screen shortcut icon or the apps menu icon, depending on what you already have open at the time. When you click on those 9 little dots, you'll see all of the compatible apps from your phone. When you're on the apps menu, if you click on the Lexus logo, that's just another way to get out of Android Auto and back to your Lexus system. And just click the Android Auto icon, and let's come back to Android Auto. And if you want to get back to your Lexus radio without clicking on anything, just use voice command. Hey Lexus, show my radio favorite screen.
Showing radio favorites.
So you do need to very specifically say, show my radio favorite screen, and we're in our Lexus radio. Let's come back and look at some other Android Auto features. Not all items are available for full screen, but if you have a navigation app open and you select that app on the left-hand side, if it is full screen compatible, it will open to full screen. Keep in mind that not all apps are even compatible to show on the right-hand side of your display. Let's review some quick Google Maps basics. You can select to search on screen or just ask Google. Okay, Google, get directions to Starbucks.
There's a Starbucks 0.2 miles away. Navigate to that one?
Yes.
Sure, Starbucks 0.2 miles away.
If you've added multiple stops to your route, a nice Google Maps feature is that you can actually edit or rearrange those destinations. Make sure that you are stopped and that it's safe to do this because you are going to touch and hold on those little handlebars, and then you can rearrange your trip. Just select Done.
Head west toward Cathedral Lakes Parkway.
And you'll be ready to go. To cancel your route, just say, okay, Google, cancel my route.
Stopping navigation.
You can click the phone icon to open the phone menu right on screen, or even better, use the telephone button on the steering wheel. And that's going to take you straight to your phone feature in Android Auto. And this even works if you have a Lexus item on screen, including your Lexus radio. Just press and release the phone button and you're back in Android to use the phone. And of course, you know my favorite way to use the phone is with voice command. So let's do that. Okay, Google, call Sarah.
Okay, calling Sarah.
Of course, one of the most popular things to do by voice command is to do texting. Okay, Google, send a text to Sarah.
What's the message?
I hope you're having a great day.
I hope you're having a great day. Ready to send it?
Yes.
Sending your message to Sarah.
And just click that shortcut arrow on the top left corner to come back to Lexus. Moving down to our Lexus Drive Connect cloud-based navigation system. That's the arrow icon on the Lexus Interface menu bar. It does use Google points of interest. Another benefit for cloud-based navigation is that the cloud resource is updated automatically, so your maps are much more frequently updated than ever before. Top navigation voice commands to be aware of. Hey Lexus, get directions to, and then you can give the address or a point of interest name, or ask Lexus to show recent destinations to see that list, find a nearby point of interest, cancel the route, or even just ask Lexus to show your map screen if that's what you'd prefer to see. We're going to start off by going through items on the screen, and we'll do some voice command examples throughout the tutorial. So it is, of course, touch screen. If you move the map around, whether you zoom out or zoom in, pinching and pulling your fingers together or apart, you'll select recenter to get back to where your vehicle is actually located. You can zoom in with the plus and zoom out with the minus button. Now you can zoom in and out with voice command. Hey Lexus, zoom in on the map.
Okay, zooming in.
Hey Lexus, zoom out on the map.
Okay, zooming out.
So pretty simple. If you're driving along and you'd like to zoom and you don't want to take your hands off the wheel, definitely operate it by voice command. On the right-hand side of the screen, you have a compass that will also change the orientation of the map just by clicking. The 2D flat view with north at the top of the map. Click again for a 3D view. So this will show you the north and south arrows, and it's more of a three-dimensional view. You can use 2 fingers to adjust the tilt angle. Clicking to recenter. Click on the compass again for 2D facing the direction that the vehicle is driving. You'll know that you're in the 2D view because you'll see the north and south arrows on the compass, and you'll have a circle of little dash marks around that compass. If you're in the 2D mode, you can still tilt if you prefer. You can shortcut to some navigation and map settings. You can turn off or leave on the traffic flow information. And traffic flow information will show on screen green, yellow, and red for moving, slow, or bumper-to-bumper traffic. You can click to call the destination assist operator, or you can always do that by voice command. Just ask your Lexus assistant to call destination assist. Because when you have the Lexus Drive Connect subscription, it not only includes the cloud-based mapping system, but it has the destination assist live operator support and the intelligent voice assistant that's connected to the cloud and always learning and has more advanced voice command capabilities in your vehicle. You can go to more detailed navigation settings and make additional adjustments here for map details and overlays and route options. We'll explore these items more when we come down to our settings menu. Notice that if I click settings to go back, I'll come to the beginning of the settings menu. So instead, click the arrow to come back to your map. Selecting about, you do need to scroll to see the different systems that are operating to power your Lexus navigation system. And click OK. Coming to the left, and we have a really popular feature. Once you know it's there, this is only capable on the Lexus Drive Connect screen. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto Maps don't have this functionality, but see these arrows right here? That's a full screen mode. Click on that and you can hide those additional climate control buttons, and it just makes your map gigantic. So it's really cool. The icon will change to arrows pointing toward each other to let you know that you can shrink that view and open up your climate menu at any time. A couple of things to know about the magnifying glass icon. When the vehicle is in motion, it changes to a microphone icon, because not only is that your on-screen search feature, but that's another way to launch your Lexus Assistant. You can simply click to launch your voice assistant and give your command, or click on the icon. You'll see a tiny keyboard icon, but you can tap anywhere along the bottom bar to open up the keyboard on screen. For navigation search, you can begin to type in a search, select from the suggested items list, and to save a favorite before you've started to drive. Clicking save will add that to your favorites. To share, you must have your phone only connected for Bluetooth. It cannot be operating for wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. And if you choose to call, it does have the capability of switching from the Lexus functionality to the phone feature in your Apple CarPlay operating system. From this screen, you can launch your destination. So if you've clicked to call and then ended the call like I did, you'll see that you need to re-enter your destination, and then you can launch your directions or just start to drive. Click Go Now.
Proceed to the highlighted route.
Once you're on the route, you'll be given turn-by-turn instructions. In this section, you'll see how long the trip will take, the amount of miles, and your approximate arrival time. If you click the drop-down arrow, you can end the trip. You can also click to add a stop. Starbucks near me.
I found 15 results along your route. The first is Starbucks at 500 Rayford Road. Would you like to go to that one?
Yes.
Would you like to add it as a stop or start a new trip?
Add it as a stop.
Adding Starbucks as a stop.
So now we have 2 stops along our route.
Proceed to the highlighted route.
Now our first stop is 4 minutes away, about 1.6 miles. If I click that drop-down arrow again, before where it said add stop, now it says edit stops. If I select that, I can grab the handlebars and reorder my trip, and then the change will be reflected on the right-hand side main screen, and I'll click save.
Proceed to the highlighted route.
If I want to share my ETA, I'm going to get this message that says no device connected. We do, of course, have a device connected, but sharing your ETA requires your phone to be only connected using Bluetooth, not connected using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Now, your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wireless connections use Bluetooth and a Wi-Fi ad hoc connection to make that mirroring possible without a cord. But when you do that, you override the Bluetooth only system. And sharing ETA through the Lexus Maps is operated with a Bluetooth only connection. Coming back to our drop-down menu, and we can see the routes that are available to us. And if you have different route options, obviously this trip is not very far away, but you can see more information about alternative routes. And because we've got Google Points of Interest with our Lexus Drive Connect system, we have details about that particular point of interest. So they tell me, are they open? Are they closed? What are their hours? And then I can even see a Google rating. So we can cancel our trip by clicking End Trip from the drop-down menu, End on the right-hand side of our map screen, or, what's my favorite way, by voice command. Hey Lexus, Cancel my navigation.
Canceling trip.
Super simple. You can also search for addresses by typing on screen. And you'll see suggestions for locations across the top, or you can just search by voice command using your Lexus Assistant. Hey Lexus, get directions to 9600 Woodlands Parkway in the Woodlands, Texas.
I found 9600 Woodlands Parkway. Would you like to go now?
Yes.
Calculating route to 9600 Woodlands Parkway.
And we're on our way.
Proceed to the highlighted route.
And remember that in your Lexus app, there's a find feature, and in that are destinations. Taking a look at your Lexus app, locate the find icon on the bottom right-hand corner of your menu. Then select destinations. This is where you can view, edit, or add your home address. Click the X to close. And work address. And click the X to close. You can also add or edit favorites right on screen. Select Done. Select the arrow to go back. You can choose to send items to the car or edit and delete. Select Done. When you're ready, select the arrow to go back. And then you can scroll down to Recent Searches. Select an item. You can remove or save, and choose to send to car. Select the arrow to go back and click the X to close. You can also search for a destination and save it to your favorites. Or send it to your vehicle. If you've sent a destination to your vehicle and then you hop in the car and turn the car on, you'll see that destination pop up on screen, ready for your next drive. You can also access the destination feature right on your vehicle screen. You can even manage favorites in the destination feature on your Lexus app. But if you've programmed home or work, you'll be able to see them here. And that's another reason why signing out to guest mode is important if you're going to valet park your Lexus, because this personalized information won't be available when the vehicle is in guest mode. But we have home, work, and favorites available right on screen. Now you can save a favorite through the system in the vehicle, but at the moment you can't program home or work through the main screen, only on the Lexus app. You can come to Recents to make a selection from your recent search history. Coming to Send to Car, these are items that I've searched for in the Destinations feature in my Lexus app. And then I marked them as Send to Car, and I'm able to send them to the car so that I can use them later. This is a great feature if you're going on a trip and you want to sit at home and plan things out, plug in addresses in your phone, and then send them to your car. You can also click to edit. So if you don't need these in this list any longer, you can just click the minus button to remove. Click Save to save your updated list. Selecting Go Back. If you have a low fuel warning, you'll have a drop-down notification on screen with the option to select from a list of nearby gas stations. Just click to select the gas station that you would like to go to, and your Lexus Drive Connect navigation system will route you there. Clicking the X to close. And now let's check out the Lexus audio system. Just click on the music notes in the Lexus menu bar. Depending on the software version on your Lexus, you may see the radio favorites on the left side of the screen, and then what's currently playing on the right larger side of the screen. Let's select radio on the top left in blue. You'll also see a Go Back button. This brings you to your radio home screen. The radio home screen has the radio menu on the left-hand side. The favorites are on the right-hand side now in a tile layout, and what's currently playing is just below. Let's go through our radio menu from the top. Our first item is our favorites. One of the things that I really love about the new Lexus Interface radio is that your favorites stay with your profile. So when you connect to another Lexus Interface vehicle, whether it's a future car or a loaner vehicle, your radio favorites will be there for you, and you don't have to keep searching for radio stations or enter your favorites every time you get a new car. Many Lexus vehicles no longer have a physical tuner dial. So let's talk about how to tune the radio so that you can find a station and favorite that station. Right here we have the word tune. We can then choose our source. Do we want to tune to an FM or AM station or a SiriusXM channel? If numbers are not available, they'll be grayed out. And as you start typing, other available numbers will become clickable. If you make a mistake, you have a go back arrow. Just click that and then enter the correct number and choose Tune to Station. If you'd like to favorite this station, just click the heart. If you've made a mistake, you can select Undo or just deselect the heart, and that will be removed from your favorites list. Once you have favorites in your favorites list, notice that when we're in full screen view, our favorites push to the left. Let's take a look at that. When we have favorites selected at the top and our favorites appear on the right-hand side in a tile view, you can just click on an item to play that item, and it will open up on the right larger side of the screen. Or if you see station or channel information across the bottom, you can click on that to open to full screen. Whenever you have full screen view on the right-hand side, the tile layout of your stations pushes to the left and it shows as a list view. From list view, you can edit your favorites. Just click edit and you can remove a favorite, or you can rearrange favorites. Scroll to a station or channel that you would like to move. Look for the handlebar on the left-hand side. So that's the 3 little bars. Touch and hold, you'll hear a beep and it lifts up that particular item. Just slide it around until you have it where you want it. So you can drag and drop, rearrange, and delete. Whenever you're done, click Done Editing. Select Radio with the left-facing Go Back button to come back to our main radio screen and come down to FM radio. If you don't have your station numbers memorized, you can always search within FM radio. You can now search all stations recently played or all of the stations that are available in your area. This is great if you're traveling and you're not familiar with the stations in that area. Just come here and search all stations, or search by music type. So search by genre and you'll see stations that are available playing that particular content. Coming back to radio, and you'll see the same type of setup for AM radio. Recently played at the top and all available stations below. If you are on a drive and you feel like you've driven out of range, you may want to click Refresh so that the system can find local signals and refresh and create your new station list. You'll see the circle change from blue to gray as it progresses through the station list update. And when it's complete, it will tell you Station Refresh Complete, and you'll know you have correct stations that are available where you're driving. You also have a genre search on the left-hand side. Locate the Mode button on the steering wheel or in the head-up display. If you are listening to AM or FM and you push and hold the Mode button, it will mute the audio, and push and hold again to unmute. Pushing to go back, and select SiriusXM. So SiriusXM has been sorting by genre for a really long time. So you also add this capability of recommended channels. So they kind of based on what you already listen to with SiriusXM, they'll make suggestions for you. Then you can select broader categories like music and then drill down from there. What genre within music would you like to listen to? And all of the channels that apply to that genre will show up in a tile layout on the right-hand side. For music, sports, news, talk radio, or select all channels if you'd like to see all of the available programming for your particular satellite radio subscription. You can also select listening history if you were listening to a channel that you really enjoyed and you kind of forgot to save it. You could just check back to your listening history and search to see what that channel might have been, and then you can go back to it. Notice that satellite radio can be paused or played by clicking on the icon on screen or with the mode button on your steering wheel. So to pause, you'll push and hold. You can just press and hold the mode button again to play. You'll even see on screen when you make the change. When the audio content is playing, you'll see the pause icon, and when you've paused the audio, you'll see the play icon. You can also select Related or Notify Me. If you choose Related, you're going to see other channel suggestions pop up on the right-hand side. So these are other things you might like based on this particular channel. So then you could select those, listen, save them as a favorite, whatever you prefer. When you select Notify Me, you can choose to be notified if this song is playing on another channel, or if that artist is playing on another channel. So it'll give you a notification on screen asking, would you like to go to this other channel to listen? You can click OK to save. You can undo if you feel like you've made a mistake. Or if you select Notify Me again and come to Manage, that shortcuts you to the SiriusXM settings in your main settings menu that are located in Sound and Media. This is where, if you have allowed for artist and songs notifications, once you've started adding items to that list, you'll see the alerts that have been set. Just click Edit if you would like to delete all or just delete a particular item. And if you feel like, oh no, actually I do want to be notified about that, just click Cancel and Done Editing. Then to come back to your Lexus Interface menu, just click the music notes. And to get back to that full screen view, click the bar at the bottom of the screen. I'd like to show you how to quickly locate the radio ID, selecting Radio to go back, and then select Tune. Choose SiriusXM, and then type 0. When you type 0, that's going to locate the radio ID for you. Just keep in mind that it's not possible to access this screen when you're talking on the phone connected to the vehicle. If you need to locate your radio ID while you're talking on the phone, come to Settings, Sound and Media, SiriusXM, Help and Support. And there's your radio ID and listener care number right on screen. Another item on screen is your source feature. On our previous model vehicles, source included AM, FM satellite, Bluetooth audio, things like that. The source menu is a little bit different for Lexus Interface. It has radio as its own source. If you click radio, you'll come back to your main radio screen, and then you'll either operate from favorites, tune, or choose a radio source, FM, AM, or SiriusXM. Come back to source and you'll see your phone's audio shortcut. For, in this example, Apple CarPlay, because it's an iPhone. When your phone is connected for Bluetooth only, you'll see that audio content from your phone will be connected via Bluetooth, as opposed to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. It just depends on your device and how you've chosen to connect it to the vehicle. Then you have streaming music services available as their own source. Apple Music or Amazon Music. Those require paid subscriptions for those services, and you can either have the AT&T Hotspot subscription to support that streaming content, or you can use one of the other connected services bundles that Lexus has made available in order to stream this type of data. Or you can always just stream that content through those apps through Apple CarPlay or Android Auto that don't require an additional subscription. My top audio voice command tips are to ask Lexus to show my radio favorite screen or to tell Lexus what I'd like to listen to. For example, hey Lexus, I want to listen to First Wave on SiriusXM, or hey Lexus, tune to channel 33, or tune to 99.1 FM. Things like that. Coming down to the phone icon in the Lexus menu. Let's talk about some phone system basics first. Then we'll look at how the phone operates with a Bluetooth-only connection. If your phone has been set up for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, you won't actually even need to click on the Lexus Interface phone icon because you'll just use the phone app that's in your phone's device system on screen, so the Apple CarPlay or Android Auto system. If your phone is connected for Bluetooth only, then you'll use the Lexus Interface phone icon to operate your phone in the vehicle. And your phone's going to work and look more like our previous generation multimedia system. When your phone is connected for Bluetooth only and you press the telephone button on your steering wheel, you'll open your recent calls on your main screen. Press the phone button again and you'll dial that most recent call. And then you'll have an opportunity to hang up from the steering wheel or on the main display. When your phone is connected for Bluetooth only, if you select Devices, you'll see the device letting you know the device name, the type of connection. You can select Manage Devices if you need to remove or change the type of connection that you're using. If you have text messaging turned on in the Bluetooth connection for your vehicle, where it says Show Notifications, you need to make sure that that feature is turned on. Texting through Bluetooth in the vehicle is possible. It's not quite as robust. So if you do a lot of texting in the vehicle, I highly recommend that you connect for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto rather than Bluetooth only. To restore your connection for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, come to Settings, select Bluetooth and Devices, select your phone's device, then toggle to Use for Apple CarPlay. And for an Android phone, of course, it would say Use for Android Auto. And now we're reconnected. Our phone system icon shows at the top of our Lexus Interface menu again, and just click to open. Now click on the car icon to open our Vehicle Features menu. This list is going to appear differently depending on the equipment you have. So if your screen looks a little different from mine, don't worry. I'll try to cover as many screen options as possible. For this tutorial, we'll focus on general features and settings that apply to all or most Lexus models with Lexus Interface. If there's a feature that we don't cover here, it should be covered in the deep dive tutorial for that specific model. But if I do miss something, please ask me about it in the comments below the video, and I'll be happy to get back to you. You may see drive mode here. If not, then your vehicle's drive mode selector will be located in the lower center stack, or it could even be located here on the dash. The operation of the drive mode selector is going to be very similar across all models. Typically, it will default to the normal drive mode. When you make your selection for the drive mode, you'll usually see a color theme change, and even the drive mode name can appear on your instrument panel. You'll see Eco, Normal, and Sport, and then some models have additional selections like Comfort or Custom, and even Sport S Plus. If you choose the custom mode, you're going to see all of the customizable components on our graphic in gray. They're not going to light up for you with those color themes. You can make customizations. Just click to open the menu, and you'll see that we are in the custom drive mode menu. You are able to adjust the powertrain from sport, normal, or eco, the suspension system, sport or normal, steering, sport or normal, and you can even make an adjustment to the air conditioning system for normal or eco. If you change the air conditioning system to eco, that means it is going to cycle off of the AC compressor sooner. So if you live in an area like ours, where it is currently 99 degrees outside, I recommend that you leave that in normal. Just make your selection and click OK to exit. You can click on the vehicle icon again, and you'll come back to your drive mode view. When we select custom, you'll see the custom theme name on your multi-information display. All right, let's come down to seat controls. Seat controls are only going to show if you have power folding second or third rows that are operated up at the front, and or if you have the optional massage feature on your vehicle. I go into the specifics of these settings in the deep dive tutorials for vehicles that have those features. Clicking to go back, and we can open Driving Assist. To take a look at your driving assist features, you can either open the shortcut and then scroll to Driving Assist, or touch the car icon and we can open the same driving assist menu all in one screen. Driving assist may look a little bit different on your vehicle. It's just, again, going to depend on the equipment that you have on your Lexus. This is a great spot to see the safety features that you can quickly and easily turn on or off. When they're blue, they're on. If you touch and they're black and white, they're off. When you turn items on or off on this screen, you may also see warning lights and messages appear on your multi-information display. Selecting to turn lane departure alert off, and the icon also turns off on your multi-information display. When we turn it back on, the icon turns back on. The lane departure alert system is the most basic level for your lane monitoring system. When lane departure alert is turned on, the system is using the front camera to look for lane markers on the road that you're traveling on. And if you're not using your blinker and you start to float toward a lane, it's going to give you an alert, and it can even give you a little nudge in the right direction to help you stay back on course. If you are using your blinker, you'll override the system and you won't have a correction as you change lanes. If you're wondering about this icon, it's for lane trace assist, and it's controlled with this button on the steering wheel. You can turn lane trace assist off and on from the steering wheel, but lane departure alert is controlled separately through the driving assist features on the main screen. This gives you more customization and more support for day-to-day driving. Moving across to the parking assist. If your vehicle has intuitive park assist, those are the sensors that beep at you if you start to get too close to something. When parking assist is off, you'll see the orange icon letting you know that parking assist is turned off. Turn it back on and the icon goes away. Parking support brake is the auto braking feature. Parking support brake is an optional feature that works in conjunction with the parking sensors and the rear cross-traffic alert system and other safety systems on the vehicle to help mitigate a potential accident at low speeds, especially under circumstances like parking. So if you're getting an alert from your parking sensors or even the rear cross-traffic alert system, and you slow down, but maybe you don't come to a complete stop, the vehicle is going to apply the brake for you. That's parking support brake. Notice that when parking support brake is turned off, you'll see two things on screen. One is a large message that says parking support brake off, and the other is a vehicle in a circle, and that's all lit in orange. There are a variety of different safety features that will show you that symbol when they're turned off. So if we turn our parking support brake back on, the message goes away and that icon goes away. And coming over to the on-off for blind spot monitor. So the blind spot monitor really is looking into your blind spot. So if you can see the car right beside you, that's not what the blind spot monitor system is there for. The blind spot monitor is trying to see where you cannot. So you'll have the visual alert in the side mirror. It's going to light up solid if someone's in your blind spot, and it's going to blink at you when you have your blinker on. So if you've turned on your indicator to change lanes and someone is in your blind spot, you'll see that blind spot monitor icon flash in the side view mirror, and now you'll hear two chimes. Just to give you an additional alert, when you turn it off, blind spot monitor will also tell you that it's off with the large message and the general safety feature off warning icon. And when you turn it back on, you'll see the warning messages clear. Safe exit assist also shows you a message when it's off, along with the safety warning icon. Turning that back on so that your safe exit assist can help you prevent opening the door into oncoming traffic. Rear cross traffic alert looks for vehicles crossing at the rear of your vehicle when you are backing up. When you turn it off, we also see the message that it's off and our safety warning icon. Just click to turn it back on and the warning messages will clear. Rear camera detection is actually looking for pedestrians crossing or near the rear of the vehicle when we are reversing. When you turn it off, rear camera detection also gives us our warning messages on screen. And when you turn it back on, all the warning messages will clear. Proactive driving assist, it's coming off by default in a lot of areas. Just click to turn it on. And when you do, you will see that same indicator light appear on your display on screen. This is only active when you are not using cruise control, and it basically tries to keep you from tailgating. So it tries to keep you from coming up too quickly behind another vehicle. It's also looking on the sides, so that's why you'll see kind of these little bubbles, so a little buffer zone at the front and the sides of the vehicle. You'll also notice the proactive driving assist icon turn off when cruise control is turned on, because with dynamic cruise control, you are establishing your own following distance. When cruise control is turned off and proactive driving assist is turned on, it's going to maintain its own little buffer zone. Road sign assist, when that feature is off, you don't actually see any kind of message come up on your multi-information display. It's just not going to show you the signs that it's designed to look for. Speed limit signs, stop signs, right of way, things like that. So you'll need to make sure that you've selected for road sign assist to be on here. And your pre-collision system, if you turn pre-collision off, it is going to tell you a big message that says pre-collision system turned off, and then you will have the pre-collision system off icon in orange on the right-hand side. And when you turn the vehicle back on, pre-collision is going to turn back on. Ultimately, we would rather that you leave pre-collision on and just make customizations in the settings if you choose to. The pre-collision system is designed to help mitigate an accident wherever possible. It will pre-tension the seat belts, prime the airbags, prime the brakes, give you lots of different warnings to try to help assist you in an emergency situation where the vehicle determines that a collision is highly possible. So we'll turn pre-collision system back on. And Click on Vehicle to go back. Selecting Active Sound Control. Many of the performance line vehicles in the Lexus lineup have active sound control. We can adjust the sound level from high, medium, low, or off. You'll see the message below just describing what this is doing. So the active sound control system is an electronic sound generator. What that does is pipe in engine sound to give more of a sporty feel as you accelerate or decelerate. And most people don't even notice it. But if you do notice it and it bothers you, you can always turn it off. Selecting trip information, you can review your current trip information regarding fuel economy. You can review the information or clear the data. And if you select history, you'll see historic information, including a previous best. You can clear data here and also update if you prefer. Selecting current and selecting vehicle to come back. If your vehicle is a hybrid, you'll be able to open the Energy Flow Monitor. The Energy Flow Monitor is kind of a summary screen that lets you know where the energy is coming from or going to. Right now, keep in mind, it's very hot here, and so our gasoline engine has turned on in order to help support the charge level of the hybrid battery. So we see that graphic with the energy lines moving from the gasoline engine through the motor generator and the hybrid system to the hybrid battery. Sometimes the vehicle will be in all-electric mode, and other times it will work in combination. It's always going to do whatever it needs to do to make the vehicle operate as efficiently as possible and accomplish everything that you're wanting, depending on your terrain, the climate control selections, and how you drive. And then as I press on the accelerator, now the energy is coming from the hybrid battery to power the wheels. Right now, still all electric. I'm traveling at pretty low speeds. If I were to accelerate, then the gasoline engine would kick on as needed. Selecting vehicle to come back and scrolling down to the all-wheel drive graphic. So this is going to light up as you're driving and the all-wheel drive system is being engaged. And one of the most popular items on here, I wish it was actually more toward the top, but our tire pressure is found in the vehicle features menu. So just select tire pressure. You'll see your tire pressure information on screen. If you come to vehicle alerts, this is where you'll see service-related alerts for your vehicle. Now let's select the settings gear to open our vehicle settings menu. For this tutorial, we already have a primary driver profile paired and set up on the vehicle. Make sure to refer back to the beginning of this video if you need help with those steps. From the main settings menu, you'll see the name of the currently connected profile and a list of saved profiles, especially if you have multiple profiles saved to the vehicle. If you are connected to your Lexus as the primary driver profile, you'll be able to choose Edit, and then you can also delete your driver profile and any other driver profiles that have been saved to the system. We'll click Done Editing. You can also add additional profiles from this screen. By default, the first profile that you enter into the system will be the primary driver profile. When you set up an additional driver profile, it's important to know a few things. Number one, each driver profile will need to have their own Lexus app account. That means they need to set up a Lexus app account with their own email address and their own mobile number. Number two, only the primary driver profile will add the vehicle in their app. So that step where you scan the VIN and then you connect by a code, only the primary driver profile will do that. They will be able to see the vehicle in their Lexus app garage, and they'll have remote start controls and access to all of the subscriptions. Number three, each Lexus app account needs to have a 6-digit security PIN. but it's okay if you use the same security PIN. If you're sharing your vehicle, it's totally fine. Some people like to use their birthday or an important anniversary date. Whatever works best for you. If you're not sure what your Lexus PIN is, click on the profile icon on the top right-hand corner of your app screen. Come to Account and Security Settings. Give permission. If you see Set PIN, you'll select Set PIN. If you see Reset PIN, you already have a Lexus app account PIN. You can either guess at what that is, just don't guess too many times or you will be locked out for a little while, or reset the PIN. If you choose that, it is going to tell you they need to verify your identity for security reasons. So you will click Confirm, and then you'll have to sign back in to the app with your credentials, and then you'll enter your 6-digit PIN, and you'll enter it twice just to confirm the PIN in the system. You'll also need the PIN when adding an additional profile to the vehicle. So let's add another profile and see how that works. Make sure that you're signed in to your Lexus app. Then you can select Add Profiles, and the system will detect any active profile that is in range. That's why we need to have our Lexus app already open and signed in before we start. You're going to click on your name on screen, and then you're going to enter your 6-digit PIN. I have made a ridiculously easy PIN just for demonstration purposes. Then click Submit. If you don't remember your PIN, you can choose to reset it, but it is going to direct you back to the Lexus app because the PIN is always set or reset in the security settings in the Lexus app. I'm being asked now, do I want to save the profile? Also, do I want to be the primary? So I am not the primary driver, so I do not want to select Save as Primary Driver. However, if I'm new to this vehicle and it is my vehicle now, I would then select Save as Primary Driver, and then it will kick out the primary driver that was there before, and I would be able to go through the full app setup process. But I am going to save my profile to the car, but not the car to my app. I'm going to click Continue, and then I'll be saved as an additional driver on the vehicle. I can choose to pair my phone for Bluetooth and Apple CarPlay. So I'm just going to do my normal steps. Now, if we come back to settings, I want to make sure you know about this feature, especially if you valet park. It is called Sign Out to Guest Mode. When you valet park, you'll choose Sign Out to Guest Mode, and it's going to let you know that guest mode is activated. When guest mode is activated, you'll see that there's no longer an Apple CarPlay or Android Auto connection. And if we come to the Lexus Maps and we select Destinations, you'll notice that home and work are no longer available, even if you've saved them in your personal driver profile, and favorites and recents that are your personal trips or searches for navigation will not show up under the guest driving mode. So this is a great way to maintain privacy when you valet park. Then when you get back into your vehicle, just come to Settings, select your profile name, and then enter the PIN on screen when prompted. You'll also use the 6-digit PIN when you're switching between profiles. Just select the name of the profile that you'd like to connect to and enter the PIN on screen when prompted. Make sure you're connected as the profile that you want to customize. Then come to Personal Info. We'll see which driver is selected and which Bluetooth device is theirs. You can manage the Bluetooth devices that are associated with your profile. You can also set up Face ID. If you need to remove the linked Face ID, it sounds a little weird, but you'll click Remove Face, and then that will take out the Face ID that's been registered. Remember that Face ID does help the vehicle to connect to your driver profile, so it's great if you have it, might as well use it. The other item that's really important to set up is linking your key. Make sure that you have your selected key in the vehicle and all other smart keys outside of the vehicle. Just click on the toggle to link key. It will turn blue. If you do have multiple keys in the vehicle, you'll receive a message telling you that there are multiple keys in the vehicle and you need to remove those keys. This will allow your vehicle to very quickly and easily recognize your driver profile when you are unlocking the vehicle, especially from the driver's door. So just keep that in mind. You can choose to reset all settings back to the system defaults, and you can even delete this driver profile from the personal info screen. Coming to Bluetooth and devices, this is again where we manage the devices that are paired and connected to the vehicle. Selecting settings to go back, and coming to the general settings menu. In the general settings menu, you can turn off or leave on the screen beep. You can also adjust the screen sensitivity, 1, 2, or 3. The higher sensitivity will allow you to operate the screen more easily if you're wearing gloves in the winter. Otherwise, just leave it on 1 or 2. You can select date and time with a Drive Connect subscription connected to your driver profile. The new cloud-based Lexus Navigation system allows the system to adjust the date and time automatically. The first and foremost is right at the top, set date and time by GPS. If we toggle that on, it's going to eliminate all of those other customizations because it's doing everything for you automatically, except for the choice of a 24-hour clock or reformatting the layout for your date and time. If we toggle off the set date and time by GPS, then we see the other features that allow you to manually set your time zone and daylight saving time. And with the Drive Connect navigation version of the clock, we add the capability of automatically locating us in our time zone and automatically adjusting for daylight saving time. If you're not using the set date and time by GPS, once you've made your selections for time zone and daylight saving time, even if your selection is set to auto, you can also then turn on set time automatically, and the clock will adjust based on the selections that you've chosen. You may be asking yourself, why do I have to set the time automatically if I have already chosen auto for the time zone and daylight saving time? That's because you have the option of automatically adjusting based on your selections or manually adjusting your clock. Set the time manually if you would like to adjust your clock just a little ahead. You can select set minutes to 00 to reset to the top of an hour, and OK to save. But of course, the easiest setting is always going to be set date and time by GPS if you have that feature available. Without the GPS connection through the Drive Connect subscription, we just need to make the selection ourselves. And you can customize the date format to your preference. This is going to apply to notifications in the inbox for things like over-the-air updates. Anywhere that a date might appear, you are able to choose your date format layout. Coming to keyboard, and you can clear the search history. Select language and units. And you can change the vehicle display and response language from English, Spanish, or French. The measurements can be selected automatically, or you can turn the automatic selection off, and then you can choose from what's available on your screen. Keep in mind that the measurements are typically specific to the area that the vehicle was programmed to be sold in. You can also scroll down and choose a different tire pressure measurement if you prefer. Select settings to go back and come to Notifications. You can turn off or leave on the notifications for software updates. Those are the over-the-air updates that come to the vehicle. You can also choose to leave vehicle suggestions on, off, or to appear only when you're at a stop. Vehicle suggestions are things like a reminder that your headlights are on when you've turned the vehicle off, and they want to make sure that you turn the headlights off or back to auto before you exit your Lexus. You can also turn off or leave on your virtual assistant. You can turn navigation during phone calls on or leave that off. And you can turn off or leave on turn-by-turn notifications, traffic alerts, state border guidance, guidance on unverified roads, and notifications about high occupancy vehicle or toll lanes. These navigation customizations all apply to the Lexus Drive Connect navigation system. Navigation apps being used by your phone for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto are all customized within that particular app's settings on your phone. Select Wi-Fi, and you're going to see two different items. The vehicle has the capability of turning on a Wi-Fi hotspot. The Wi-Fi hotspot does require a subscription through AT&T. It does come with a complimentary trial period. It has a pre-assigned password, but if you click on that item, you can customize the password. We'll click the X to close. You can review the security version, and you can allow passengers to connect without the password. So even with the password, if you have passengers that you know you would like them to connect, just click Connect Without Password. That allows them 2 minutes to get their devices connected to your hotspot, and then it will time out. You can also click on any other item to cancel the timer once they've gotten connected. So if you come back to Wi-Fi, you'll see that Connect Without Password has been reset. And you can toggle the hotspot off when you're no longer using it. If you select Wi-Fi, this allows your vehicle to look for wireless signals. So if we turn that on, it's going to let you know that the vehicle is not able to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto while it connects to a hotspot. Usually, you only need to connect to a hotspot if you have a large over-the-air update that needs a stronger signal. So we'll just click Cancel, and then Settings to return to our Settings menu. Coming to Display, you can turn the display off, and when you do, you may see lots of fingerprints. So you'll want to get out your handy-dandy microfiber cloth and clean it up. When you're ready to turn it back on, just touch anywhere on the screen and then click right in the box that says Touch to turn screen on. You can adjust the mode for your screen automatically or choose the daytime or light mode or the nighttime or dark mode. You can adjust the brightness and contrast for day mode and night mode independently. We'll just select to have it change automatically, so at night, the bright screen will dim. Coming to the camera selection, this will adjust the view that you see either from the backup camera while the vehicle is in reverse or from the 360 monitor if your vehicle is equipped with the panoramic view monitor. And you can adjust brightness and contrast, and this just gives you an example. So as you make the change, your screen will just reflect that change right away. Clicking Settings to go back, and scroll down and let's open Sound and Media. The vehicle has an auto sound levelizer that adjusts the audio volume based on your driving speed. That can be left on or turned off. When you have a phone connected for Bluetooth only, meaning you're not connected actively to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. When you come to the Sound and Media Settings section and you look at Levels, you'll have additional sound setting levels available for different volume controls. Ringtone, new message volume if texting permissions have been turned on through your phone settings, and received call volume. If you are connected for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, you will not be adjusting your volumes here because you make those adjustments in your phone. You can also adjust the system voice. How loud or soft do you want your Lexus Assistant volume? And the driving assist volumes. The driving assist volume adjusts the sounds that are made after you click Start at the beginning of the advanced park procedure. And you can turn surround sound off or leave it on. Coming to sound tuning, if these items are grayed out, it just means that your audio system is turned off. So press the power button to turn it on. Then you can use the slide bar to adjust the treble, mid-range, and bass. Keep in mind that you will be making that adjustment for each different source. When you adjust the balance and fade, that is going to be a universal change. So if you adjust the balance and fade, this is going to apply to any audio source. If you'd like to put it back to center, just click Recenter. Selecting media, you can turn off or leave on the display cover art, so the album art that's available. And scrolling down, you'll see radio. Under radio, you can turn off or leave on your display FM information, details that are being broadcast by the FM stations about the content that they're playing, and the HD radio signal for FM or AM. You can clear your radio station history, and you can scroll down and turn off or leave on the enhanced metadata that pulls in more current artwork for album and artist artwork that shows on screen. Selecting SiriusXM, you'll see whether or not your subscription is active. You can turn off or leave on notifications, and you can choose to block explicit content. You can also turn off or leave on a feature called Tune Start. I happen to really like this Tune Start feature. It allows you to start at the beginning of a song when you select a music channel. Rather than changing from one channel to another and ending up somewhere in the middle of a song, it's going to automatically start you at the beginning of the song that's playing on that channel. If we select sports, we're able to turn off or leave this feature on. When you leave it on, it's really cool to be able to choose a sport and then choose a team. And then select OK. Once we've chosen a team, that means we're going to be notified with content about that team. With music, we can allow the system to tell us when favorite artists or songs are playing if we've selected to be notified about that content. Coming to help and support, and we will see the SiriusXM customer care number. You'll also see the radio ID for your vehicle and the SiriusXM version currently running on your system. Make sure to know that when you are looking for your radio ID, if you're talking on the phone and your phone is connected to the vehicle, this is the only spot that you can get your radio ID on the screen. Select Sound and Media to go back, and Settings to return to our main settings menu. Now let's open Navigation. Under Map Details, we can leave on or turn off map overlays for traffic incidents, free-flowing traffic. Those are the traffic flow lines. The green letting us know it's moving, the orange color letting you know that traffic is slower, red would indicate bumper-to-bumper traffic. And if you see a dark red or black line, that indicates a road or lane closure. Selecting Settings to go back, and coming back to Navigation. We can also choose to leave on or turn off points of interest. Keep in mind that currently our home and work addresses for the Lexus Drive Connect system are managed in the app under the Destinations feature. Favorites can be saved in the app on your phone and through the system on the vehicle. You can also select to calibrate the map if needed. We'll click Cancel and come to Route Options. If you would like to avoid tolls, highways, ferries, seasonal roads, or border crossings, make sure that you select that here. But if you do not want to avoid those things, make sure that you turn that off. So if you turn on to avoid something, it's going to navigate you to your destination without using those items. So if you have a toll tag and you want to use toll roads, make sure that Avoid Tolls is turned off. Select Settings to go back and come to Vehicle Customize. Your Vehicle Customize settings list will be different depending on whether or not your vehicle has a head-up display. If it does, that's going to be the first item that you'll see on this list on the left-hand side. If you don't have a head-up display on your Lexus, the first item will be the meter customization. Let's take a look. Just click to open Head-Up Display, and you'll see that you can turn the feature off or on. You can adjust the brightness with the slide bar, and you can choose the HUD theme or layout here, selecting from full, standard, or minimal, depending on how much content you'd like to view in the head-up display. On vehicles with the customizable multi-information display, that's your instrument panel that you see here. When you change the head-up display layout theme, you're also going to change some of the items that show or don't show on the instrument panel. With the HUD in full mode, you'll see the gear position, the digital speedometer, and above that, you'll see your driving support screen with details about cruise control, following distance, lane trace assist, things like that. You'll also have a compass on the right-hand side of the head-up display screen. Let's change our HUD theme layout using either the head-up display settings menu or the shortcut menu. If we change from full mode to standard mode, the compass is removed from the head-up display. We see more condensed driving support information moved over to the right. And if we take a look at our multi-information display, we'll move from audio to a compass for navigation and a large driving support screen on the multi-information display. If we choose minimal view, we'll have the least amount of content in the head-up display. Notice that even the words and visuals describing the changes that you're making on the multi-information display have also been hidden. But the multi-information display will retain the compass for navigation information and your driving assist or driving support screen. You can also adjust the height, up, down, and the rotation, clockwise and counterclockwise. Keep in mind that the rotation is very subtle, but if you do make changes to the HUD position, make sure to resave your driver position memory because it is included in those saved settings. When you choose meter, you'll see that there are 3 different meter types. Depending on the type of display you have, your meter type views may be a little different than what you see in this video. But just click on each type and see what you prefer. So this is type 1, type 2, and type 3. Coming back to type 1, select OK to save your changes. For vehicles that have a tachometer customization, you can allow it to switch automatically from the TAC or the hybrid vehicle meter, or you can select TAC only or hybrid vehicle meter only. We'll allow for auto switching, and we'll select OK to save. When you have the stoplights display on, that means you'll see the brake light graphics also show on your multi-information display anytime the brakes are applied on your Lexus. If you turn that off, then when you apply the brakes, you will not see those brake light graphics on your multi-information display. I think that's a really cool feature. I always like to leave that turned on. You can choose to leave on or turn off the EV indicator, the rev indicator, and if you have the rev indicator turned off, you won't see that rev indicator customization. So turn it back on and you can customize the rev indicator settings. You'll also be able to turn off or leave on the rev peak. Coming to lights, and you can adjust the sensitivity for the auto headlights. When you select that, you can allow the headlights to come on sooner rather than later. So if it is still brighter out, bright, normal, waiting for it to get dark, or even darker before those headlights come on. Most people prefer normal or bright or brighter. Select OK to save. You have an auto off timer for your headlights as long as your headlights are in the auto mode. This means that when you exit the vehicle and you lock your Lexus, the headlights can stay on for you 30, 60, or 90 seconds, and then they'll automatically turn off. You can choose to turn this feature off if you prefer. If you'd like to have this feature turned on, but there may be an occasion where you'd like to turn the headlights out automatically, just use the lock button on your key fob. When you press it twice, it will turn your headlights off. Select OK to close. You can allow daytime running lights to remain on or turn the feature off. You can customize the amount of time that your exterior lights stay on. This would be additional lighting on the exterior of the vehicle. Customizations are 7.5 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, or off. And the same is true for the interior lights, 7.5, 15, 30 seconds, or off. Coming to illumination, if you have the customizable thematic ambient lighting, you'll be able to choose a color theme. The default is a daylight white. You can choose any of the pre-selected themes, or you can choose custom, select OK, then touch on the color sample, and then pick whatever color you like. Click OK, and you'll see the color change for the interior ambient lighting. You can adjust the brightness on the slide bar for all zones, or select by zone, and then you can customize the brightness level for the front, rear, and footwell lighting. Just deselect if you would like all ambient lighting zones to have the same brightness level. Let's come to door control. You can allow the vehicle to automatically unlock when you shift to park, or when you open the driver's door, or you can turn that feature off. When you turn the feature off, you will need to press the unlock button to exit the vehicle. The wireless electronic key, the key fob, to press unlock, that means press the unlock button twice and it's going to unlock the entire vehicle. Lock when door opened. This is awesome. This helps you if you're doing camping or tailgating. You'd like to keep the entire car locked except the back door. Here's how this works. open the back door, and then you'll lock your vehicle with the lock button in the door handle. You're not able to use the Smart Access locking indentation on the outside of the door handle or the electronic lock button on your key fob. You do need to press the button in the door handle to lock the car. You'll see the green light turn on. Then just close the door. It's a great way to keep the passenger interior area secure while you've got access to the cargo area. Scrolling down, you have a control for the Smart Access doors. When you unlock from the driver's door handle, do you want it to only unlock the driver's door, or would you like it to unlock all doors? Scrolling down to some key settings, there is an auto relock timer. You can set this for 30, 60, or 120 seconds, or you can turn the feature off. The most important thing to know about the auto relock timer is that it means that if you have unlocked the vehicle, whether it's from the key fob or the Smart Access system, and you do not open a door, the vehicle is going to automatically lock itself after any of the time that you've selected, 30, 60, or 120 seconds. Currently, Lexus does not have an auto locking feature, meaning if you've gone for a drive, you turn off the vehicle and exit, when you close the doors, they're not going to automatically lock for you. They will only automatically relock if you unlock the vehicle and don't open a door. You can turn off or leave on the feedback lights. Those are the lights that you see when you lock and unlock the vehicle. And you can increase or decrease the volume of the locking and unlocking feedback tone. Scrolling down, you can turn off or leave on the power back door feature, the kick sensor, that's your hands-free feature, and you can change the volume from soft, normal, or loud for the power back door buzzer sounds. You can also customize the opening position from inside the vehicle. So there are 5 different levels. I really prefer to customize this from outside so you can actually see that height opening, but this is a pretty simple way to make a quick adjustment if you need to from inside your Lexus. Coming to boarding and exit, as part of your driver easy exit feature, you can adjust the amount of seat slide when you turn the vehicle off from full, partial, or you can turn it off and then the seat won't slide back when you turn the vehicle off. On this vehicle, you can also adjust the seat lift, full, partial, or off. And you can allow the steering column to tilt, be telescopic, so it will push away from you, or you can set it to tilt and telescopic, so it will tuck up and away. You can also turn that feature off. Select OK, and come down to Custom Drive Mode. This is the menu that we use to make our custom drive mode selections from our drive mode selector in the Vehicle Features menu. Coming back to Settings, opening Vehicle Customize, and coming down to Tire Pressure. If you have multiple sets of tires, you can register a second set. The items that you see for registration and air pressure reference value are usually customized by a technician when you have tire rotation or a tire change, and if they need to reset the tire pressure values for your tire pressure readout. If the next item you see is steering switch, that means you have a customizable steering wheel with touch-sensitive arrow pads that operate your head-up display. Both the right side and left side have 2 different menu screens that you can see and control. Just select the left side. You'll see a drop-down menu for layout. Default layout is for audio. You can turn the audio system off and on, change modes, and scroll through your radio favorites that you've saved to the system. Select Climate, and you'll see that you have an opportunity to choose this as the layout for the additional view that's operated on the left-hand side of your steering wheel. So you could adjust the temperature up and down, you could have recirculating air, and even an airflow mode button. Or select Custom, click OK, then choose any button and select Add. You can choose to leave that spot empty or pick one of two audio controls, mode or power, or you could make a selection of different climate controls. You can create a shortcut for auto, and you can create a shortcut to turn the entire HVAC system off, or a shortcut to operate the manual control of your AC compressor. And you can do the same thing with the other three buttons in the custom layout. We'll come back to our audio default setup. Now open the right side and you'll see the options that we have for customizing the additional right side screen. Our display control screen is the default. That's where we can raise and lower our head-up display and make a selection for items that are found in the multi-information display. But if we open the menu, we could choose Custom, select OK, select Add, and then choose from the items that are available in the list for the right side customizations. You have head-up display on/off, head-up display mode, and head-up display position. You can also choose a shortcut for disabling the auto engine stop-start feature if you have an all-gas Lexus equipped with that feature. Depending on your Lexus, you may have other customizations that are available with this setup. On some models, you can even include a shortcut for your drive mode selector right to your head-up display. Just click, select OK. Now when you open that view on the head-up display, you'll be able to use that shortcut right away to access whatever your customization was, and in my case it was sport mode. We can also shortcut the view monitor. That's pretty handy. Let's say OK to that. And there's our customization for view. Watch this. Push that view monitor button, and there we are, 360 panoramic view monitor. And then you can repeat that process with any other available button. Or come back to the default setting for the right-hand side, which is display controls. Select Options, and you can turn on or leave off the winter gloves mode. When you have winter gloves mode on, that means you can drive with gloves on and have an easier time activating those switches, because remember that it does require you to touch the arrow pads to wake up those buttons before you press and make your selection of the item that you want to use. We'll turn that off for now and click Vehicle Customize to return to our previous menu. Coming to Climate, and you can adjust the sensitivity for the front left and front right seat heat and fans to come on automatically based on the temperature you've selected for the cabin and whatever the outside temperature happens to be. So when you put the system in auto mode, you can increase or decrease the sensitivity by 2 levels to make the automatic operation of the seat climate come on sooner or later on each side for the auto seat temperature. You can also adjust the operation time, increasing or decreasing by 2 levels for the heated steering wheel. And you can turn off or leave on the AC with auto mode. We'll talk more about this in the climate section. Coming to utility, you can turn off or leave on the rear seat reminder. That's the pop-up message that is triggered by opening a back door before you go for a drive. Also, when this is turned on, if you open a back door and then go for a drive, and then you exit the vehicle without checking the back seat, so without reopening a back door, and then you lock the car, here's what happens. Lots of beeps. You can choose to turn that off, but it is there as a safety feature, so you can leave that on, especially if you travel with children. If your vehicle has the optional power outlet, you can choose to turn that on under this utility menu if you plan to use it. Otherwise, you can leave it off. You can also turn it off or on in the shortcut menu. Make sure to note that the vehicle does have to be totally on to use the optional rear power outlet. Another item to know about is the ACC Customize setting. This feature can be a little tricky to understand, but basically when this is set to off, it means some accessories like the main screen and the audio system will continue to operate even when the car's been turned off until we open the driver's door. Then everything turns off. When ACC Customize is set to on, that means the car must be on to operate our accessories. So if we turn the vehicle off, everything turns off right away. We also have an additional place to customize active sound control: high, medium, low, or off. Click OK to close. There are some noise canceling components to active sound control, so keep that in mind if you choose to turn that feature off. When your vehicle has maintenance, you'll be able to reset the scheduled maintenance reminder here. You'll also be able to reset the oil maintenance reminder. So keep in mind that there are two different maintenance reminders. The scheduled maintenance reminder is for your every 5,000 miles or 6 months, whichever comes first, that doesn't usually include an oil change. Your oil changes are going to come every 10,000 miles or once a year, depending on how much you drive. Select Settings to go back and come to Driving Assist. You'll see 3 items in the Driving Assist menu. When you open Driver Support, depending on the equipment on your vehicle, you may or may not see all of the items that I'm showing you here. If your Lexus is equipped with the optional Traffic Jam Assist feature, Traffic Jam Assist can be turned on or off. Make sure to note that you must have an active Drive Connect subscription and is only available when you are using dynamic radar cruise control, so adaptive cruise control. Under about 24 miles per hour, the vehicle will slow down, then come to a stop, and then instead of you having to tap the accelerator or click resume, the vehicle will resume driving for you. All right, the system knows that we are in a traffic jam. So smart. So it is accelerating for me as able and slowing me down, even coming to a stop. It also tells me that it is recording. Driver monitor recording can allow the camera to document while traffic jam assist is being used. You can turn that off or leave it on. And you can make customizations to your proactive driving assist feature. So remember, proactive driving assist is only on when adaptive cruise control is off. If you're not using the radar cruise control, you can have some additional proactive steps that the vehicle can take to try to help mitigate a potential accident before the pre-collision system would take over. You can adjust the sensitivity, high, medium, or low. And you can turn off or leave on steering assist, deceleration assist. This is the one that most people notice because it will feel like the vehicle is just slightly slowing down for you to help keep you from coming up too quickly behind another vehicle. And the obstacle anticipation assist. This is when the system is looking not only in front of you, but on the side of the road. It's a pretty incredible system, but if you're not familiar with it, it can feel a little different while you're driving. So you may want to just drive and experience it, make some customizations, and then if you don't like it, then you could turn it off. Scrolling down to the dynamic radar cruise control, the extended resume time feature needs to be left on, especially if you want to use that traffic jam assist feature. You can also customize the acceleration from high, medium, or low. You'll need to drive with each one of these adjustments to feel what this feels like as the driver, and then make the selection that you prefer. This is really a personal preference. The guide message can be turned off or left on, and the reduce speed function can be turned off or adjusted to high, mid, or low. Scrolling down to our lane departure alert system, you can have the alert timing remain at the default setting, or you can choose to have it alert you sooner if you begin to depart your lane without having your blinker on. When you have your blinker on, your lane monitoring system knows that you want to leave the lane, so you won't get an alert. If you are getting an alert, it can be either a vibration of the steering wheel or an audible alert. You can also turn off lane change assist if your vehicle is equipped with lane change assist. For lane change assist to operate, when you put your blinker on, the system will use the blind spot monitor, other sensors and cameras on the vehicle to look in the blind spot and ahead of your vehicle to the lane that you would like to change to. If all is clear, it will assist you in making that lane change. There we go. You'll hear a little beep. Lane change assist. You can also turn off or leave on the driver monitor alerts. This will not turn off the driver attention monitor. It also won't turn off every single alert. It will turn off the messages telling you to sit up or perhaps that you're not paying attention. There are a variety of messages that can pop up, including a message that suggests that you sit up in a more upright, safe driving position. It will turn off some of the alerts, but if you drive with your arm at the top of the steering wheel and you block the driver attention monitor, you are going to definitely get an alert. So make sure to bring your hands down to a safe driving position that does not obstruct the driver attention monitor. Coming to collision mitigation, the pre-collision warning time can be customized to warn you earlier or later, or just leave it at the default warning time. If your vehicle has front cross traffic alert, you'll see a couple of settings here. You can choose to turn front cross traffic alert off or leave it on and adjust the alert timing. So you can be alerted earlier or later, or leave it at the default. You can change the parking assist volume, so how loud those beeps are when you're getting close to something. Mid is the default volume setting, but you can change it to low or high. And you can make customizations to the blind spot monitor. You can have the alerts come earlier or later. You can turn off or leave on the buzzer. And you can change the icon brightness from bright to dim. Just make your selection and press OK to save. You can turn off the outside rear view mirror indicator for safe exit assist. And you can adjust the sensitivity for safe exit assist, low, medium, or high. Pressing OK and coming to notification. The road sign assist customizations have two different categories: speed customizations for detected speed limit information, and other signs. Other signs include things like stop signs, yield signs, and right-of-way. The first customization you'll see is for excess speed. You could choose to have no alert, visual only, which would mean the speed limit sign would then change to an orange color if you've exceeded the speed, or visual and audible. You can also make the same customization for other types of signs, like the stop signs, things like that. So either turn that feature off by choosing none, or have visual only or visual and audible as your customization. When you have the excess speed notification allowed, you'll also be able to customize the excess speed level, whether you've exceeded the speed by 1, 3, or 5 miles over that posted speed. Scrolling down a little bit and you'll see a driver brake suggestion. This is actually linked to your lane monitoring system. If the lane monitoring system has given you multiple corrections in a row, it thinks that you might be a fatigued driver. So it is going to pop up a suggestion for you to perhaps just take a break so that you're driving safely. We'll select Settings to come back and then open Voice and Search. You can turn off or leave on the wake word and the voice prompts. If you turn off the wake word, which is actually the wake phrase, "Hey Lexus," that means you're going to need other methods to wake up your voice assistant. You can use the voice command button on the steering wheel or the soft button on screen. Keep in mind, this is just for your Lexus assistant. Your phone's assistant wake words will still be available as long as you have your phone connected for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Or leave the wake words turned on and just say, "Hey Lexus," to activate your vehicle's assistant. Cancel. With the voice prompt feature, it is going to tell you that when it's disabled, the system is going to respond with beeps instead of prompts. The voice prompt and voice assistant feedback seems to be evolving a lot with the Lexus Interface system. As you own your vehicle and you have over-the-air updates, it is possible that you'll continue to see changes and enhancements with the voice prompt system. So for now, if you would like less voice prompts, I would say to turn the voice prompt setting off. You are still going to get some voice prompt feedback, which will happen more as a confirmation that the vehicle is either making a change or checking to make sure that the system got your command correct. But let's take a look at some examples of what I mean. If the voice prompts are off with the navigation system, for example, you're going to get a result on screen, but you're not going to get responses back until you begin navigating. I happen to like the prompts when I need them, so I'm going to leave that turned on. Scrolling down to dealer info, you can add your preferred Lexus dealer. Coming to info and security, you can customize the vehicle name. Just keep in mind that the name that appears here, that's how your phone's device name will show up when you're searching for it in a list of available Bluetooth devices, Apple CarPlay devices, and connected systems that use that name as a point of reference. The most important thing to know about privacy lock is that this is not what you want to use when you valet park. When you valet park, you want to use the feature we looked at before that allows you to exit to guest mode. That keeps your personal information off screen. The privacy lock, it requires a password if your head unit becomes disconnected from power, and then you would need to re-enter that password to disable the privacy lock feature. When the primary driver profile is actively connected to the system, you can do a system reset here, and it will reset everything on the vehicle back to the original settings. Coming to software update, if you've had a drop-down notification that a software update is available for the vehicle, this is where you'll come to do that update. You can also click on Model Info to scroll through information about all of the different software running on the vehicle. You can review the history of previous software updates, the versions and items that were changed. And you can review licensing information on screen. Selecting to go back, scrolling down, and opening apps. You can choose to reinstall all apps. These are not the apps from your phone. Any app on your phone that needs an update or a refresh permission needs to be performed on your phone itself. You can also set up the remote authorization for your Lexus Remote Start feature if you haven't already activated it through the Lexus app on your phone. selecting to go back, and that's your entire Lexus Interface settings menu. Now let's come down and take a look at our climate control system. You have temperature dials for the driver and the passenger. When the passenger adjusts their temperature, it's not going to change the driver's. So if you want to sync the temperatures, just select sync, and then everything will match up to the driver's selected temperature. Let's look at some different components for the fan. You can select to turn it off. You can choose auto mode, and then all of your fan controls are in auto. You'll see a solid line, or take over manual control for the fan, and you'll see a dashed line and numbers letting you know the fan speed as you increase or decrease. You also have an airflow mode indicator, but a lot of times it doesn't look like it's on because there aren't arrows showing when it's in auto mode. So when you want to take over control of the airflow mode, just click on the seated person icon. You'll be able to toggle through face and feet, feet only, feet and defrost or defogger, face only, and back to face and feet. The recirculating and outside air feature also doesn't have a light on when it's in auto mode. So if you want manual control, just click recirculating on, recirculating off. And just like airflow mode, once you activate that manual mode, you can just toggle between the settings of recirculating or outside air, unless you launch auto. The AC compressor operates in the same way. When you don't see any kind of indicator light above it, it's in auto. Just click to take over. AC compressor to manually on, AC compressor to manually off. Clicking again to manually turn back on the AC compressor. If I select auto, everything for the fan comes back to auto. Fan speed, outside or recirculating air, the AC compressor, and the airflow mode. This can be a little confusing because I think they wanted to kind of visually declutter the screen, but most of us are really used to some sort of light or bar indicating whether a feature is on or off. So just know that if you've selected auto for the fan, everything for that fan is going to automatically operate for you based on the temperature that you've selected for the cabin and the current outside temperature. The heated and ventilated front seats also have an auto mode. The first press of either heat or fan will turn on the auto mode. If you want to take over, just click. There are 3 levels of fan and 3 levels of heat for the driver and the passenger. The heated steering wheel operates in a similar way. The first press turns on auto, the second press will be high, then click again for low, and again for off. With rear cabin climate, you'll be able to choose rear. You can turn the rear system off, increase or decrease fan speed, set the rear fan to auto, and again you'll get that solid white line, and adjust rear airflow mode, face and feet, feet only, face only, back to face and feet. And just like our front controls, if we set rear climate to auto, we won't have airflow mode indicator lines, and we'll have that solid line for our fan speed. Also, when you are adjusting rear cabin climate, you'll only see one temperature in the driver's side temperature dial because there is only one temperature selection for that zone. You can select to come back to the front climate controls and you'll see all of the climate controls that we were previously looking at. We have one more climate item, the little climate tab. When you turn on Climate Concierge and you select Auto, absolutely every climate control feature will be in the auto mode. Where the auto for fan controlled only fan systems, Climate Concierge in auto also incorporates the seat and steering climate controls. So when you want to take over, you actually have to take over each independent climate feature. It's a lot of clicking. S-Flow is like a smart flow, and it tries to direct air only to occupied seats. It's typically linked to opening a rear passenger door. When S-Flow is on, airflow can be off to unoccupied seats. So if you would like to have air flowing throughout the entire cabin, disable S-Flow. When S-Flow is off, air is on. You can also turn on or leave off the Eco Heat and Cool feature, and you can turn on or leave off the windshield wiper de-icer. You can click to close or just allow the screen to time out. We're going to come back to our little ice cube tray shortcut in a moment. Let's take a look at our front defogger. Just press to turn it on or off. And our rear window and side view mirror defogger. Press to turn it off or on. Now click to open our little ice cube tray. This is our little shortcut menu. It's a great spot to turn on or off frequently used items. So these items are going to vary depending on what you've been using. You'll also have max heat, max cool, silent, and a quick shortcut to turn that power on for your outlet. You'll see dots here indicating that there are multiple pages. Just swipe. You can change your drive mode and turn on or off those driving assist features that we saw before. Just click to close or allow the system to time out. Well, that's our deep dive tutorial into the first generation of the Lexus Interface multimedia system. There are a lot of other features to cover that do incorporate the main display, and many of them have their own settings menus, like the 360 camera system, the backup camera. Some models even have a multi-terrain monitor, and the advanced parking feature. So make sure to check out the model-specific deep dive tutorials for your Lexus to learn all about those features. Well, thank you so much for stopping by the Lexus Virtual Classroom today to learn about the first generation of the Lexus Interface multimedia system. I have a lot of deep dive tutorials for a lot of different models. Not every single one, but I'll keep working on it. So if you have questions about your Lexus, make sure to leave them in the comments below, and I'll be happy to get back to you. Thanks again for stopping by. We'll see you next time.